Clock, we're going to get rolling here. At this point, I'm going to call the Crystal Council meeting to order. Let's start with roll call, please.
Councilmember Eisner. Here. Mayor Adams.
Here.
Councilmember Krzyzewski.
Here.
Councilmember Cummings.
Here.
Councilmember Eichel.
Here.
Councilmember Campbell. Here. We have a quorum.
All right, let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have an agenda before us. I'd like to see a motion for approval of the agenda. Anyone? John? All right, thank you. Looking for a second. Therese? All right, all members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, first item on our agenda is our Police Chief Revering to address the council. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Again, we appreciate you allowing us to speak before you tonight. As you remember, 2 weeks ago, we were before you with a couple of officers who received awards, and again, we're before you tonight. And with the showing of all of the officers to give support along with their families and friends who are in the audience, as you know, it's very special for all of us to be here, so thank you again. As part of the police department's recognition program, we feel there are times that accomplishments should be recognized in front of the city council and community, which is why we are here tonight. I'm honored to recognize 4 officers tonight whose work has met that threshold. So if Officer Anna Futter and Officer Josh Kasten could come up, that'd be great. On January 15th, 2023, officers were dispatched to a call of a 76-year-old female who fell and is unresponsive. While responding to the call, officers were updated that the female was gasping for air and turning very blue. Upon their arrival, officers Anna Futter and Josh Kasten confirmed the victim did not have a pulse and began CPR and rescue breathing. The officers attached an AED and a shock was delivered while CPR was continued. The female regained her pulse and began breathing on her own and was subsequently transported to the hospital by ambulance. The Crystal Police Department Life-Saving Award is presented to department personnel who save a human life in imminent danger of death through the application of medical efforts and is being presented tonight to Officers Futter and Kasten for their quick and calm actions during this stressful medical emergency. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And if Officer Jeff Clevin and Officer Josh Kasten, one more time. On February 18th, 2023, officers were dispatched to a possible drug overdose at a residence. Officer Jeff Clevin arrived and located a 43-year-old male alone in a bedroom in an unnatural position on the bed. Officer Clevin noticed the male was not responsive and his face was turning purple. Officer Clevin got the male on the floor and he and Officer Josh Kasten began treating the male. Officers administered 2 doses of Narcan, inserted an oral airway, and provided rescue breathing to the male who had stopped breathing by this point. After a few minutes of emergency care and the second dose of Narcan, the male started to breathe on his own and woke up. He was then transported to the hospital for evaluation and stabilization. The Crystal Police Department Life-Saving Award is presented to department personnel who save a human life in imminent danger of death through the application of medical efforts and is being presented tonight to Officers Clevin and Kasten for their quick and calm actions during this stressful medical emergency. Congratulations.
John, thank you.
Again, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, thank you again. As you know, it's very, I'm always full of pride when I'm standing up here and giving these awards. And we do not give these awards out lightly. They go before a committee and our staff, and And we really, truly appreciate the fact that you allow us to be able to show you the great work that your officers do on a regular basis. So thank you. And I'll just allow the families and friends to move on from tonight, if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor.
Not at all.
Perfect. I'm sure they would love to stay, but I'm guessing they don't want to.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move on with the rest of the agenda, starting with the consent agenda. I'll read that into the record at this time. Approval of the minutes from the City Council regular work session on March 7th and the City Council regular meeting, same date. Approval of the list of license applications submitted by the City Clerk to the City Council. That list is on file in the City Clerk's office. Adoption of a resolution accepting donations. And adoption of a resolution authorizing Construction Cooperative Agreement with Hennepin County and Three Rivers Park District. And then an adoption of a resolution authorizing an outdoor recreation grant application to the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources for improvement at the Crystal Cove Aquatic Center. And then adoption of a resolution authorizing a playground grant application to Hennepin County Youth Sports Grant Program for new play area at Welcome Park. So, looking for a motion on this one. Anyone for us?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
All right, thank you. Go ahead. Tracy?
I'll second.
All right. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. Next is open forum. Chrissy, do we have anyone wishing to speak during open forum?
I do not, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, just a reminder to the public, this is a time where you can address the council in public. We usually provide 3 minutes for each person, topic for 10 minutes. Don't be afraid to use that. At this time, we'll just skip right by open forum since nobody's coming forward at this time. Regular agenda, first item on that is disbursements of $25,000 or greater. I will read that into the record at this time. First item is Health Partners for March health insurance premiums, $128,068. Logis for monthly support, hosting, and network and annual development for $78,378. George F. Cook Construction Company for the police station cost, $42,700. Lake Town Electric Corporation for the police station cost, $93,968. Veet Company Contractors and Inc. for the police station, $46,689. West Metro Fire Rescue District for March contribution for the West Metro Fire Rescue District is $123,281. Compass Minerals America, that's salt for the roads, $26,624. MinPara for employee required contributions for pay date 3/3/2023, $67,831. IRS electronic payments for federal FICA withholding taxes for pay date 3/3/23 is $66,702. Total disbursements of $25,000 or greater is $674,245.24. Questions from the council on any of these items? Seeing no one, how about a motion? John, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the list of disbursements over 25,000.
All right, looking for a second. Tracy?
I'll second.
All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Next, our community director, John Sutter, is here to address the council in referring to a light industrial building. Welcome, John.
All right, thank you, Mayor Adams, council members. So there are two different items here, 6.2 and 6.3 in your agenda. So we'll take them separately, of course. The first one is the site and building plan for the property at 5208, 5216 Hanson Court, the former site of Crystal Auto Parts. So this is the site location in blue, and then the magenta area is the 500-foot mailing radius for the Planning Commission public hearing, which was held last week. And this is an aerial photo of the site as of about 2 years ago. The house that's kind of at the northwesterly corner of the site was demolished. I think West Metro did some fire training there, and that was done last year. So that house is now gone. So Jeff Quinn of FAR Plumbing is proposing to build a 14,000 square foot office warehouse building on the property. It's currently zoned industrial. It's vacant. And the adjacent uses are compatible with light industrial use, and it has been zoned as such for quite some time. So in this building, the two right-hand units, Unit 5 and 6, FAR Plumbing would use for their, basically their headquarters for their business operation, and then the 4 units kind of on the left-hand side, units 1 through 4, those would be available for lease to other compatible light industrial uses. So around 30% of the square footage of this 14,000 square foot building would be used by FAR Plumbing, and about 70% of it would be available to lease. And this is the floor plan of the building, showing it a little bit more in detail. You'll notice across the front of the building, they have sort of the entrance doors where the businesses will have the opportunity to create a small office or showroom area, and then kind of the warehouse or production or whatever area storage would be in the back with the overhead doors. And these are some illustrations of what the building would look like. The top illustration is facing Hanson Court, and the bottom illustration is facing the BNSF Railway. And these are the two sides. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at its March 13th meeting after holding the public hearing. And so the requested action on this item is a motion to approve the site plan, including the findings and conditions recommended by the Planning Commission. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Go ahead, Tracy.
So with the overhead doors in the back, is there gonna be access to drive back there, or how do they get back there?
Yes, Councilmember, that's a great question. And on the site plan, it's kind of hard to see, but across the rear of the building, there are sort of 2 lanes. The lane closest to the rear of the property by the railroad tracks is sort of the drive lane, and then the trucks can park in the lane closest to the building if they need to stop to load or unload. Frankly, given the weird triangular shape of this site, I think the site designer did a really good job figuring out how to provide the necessary access and parking and stormwater treatment on this oddly shaped site, and also to maximize the amount of building they could put on it while accomplishing all those other things. So we're confident that this will work, and again, they had to do some creative thinking about where trucks need to stage and park, but they did figure it out, and we're confident that it will work.
So there's no box truck that can back up and kind of unload. It all has to be perpendicular to the building. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, parallel. It would be, this building isn't big like I know it's an office warehouse, but it's not like an office warehouse you might typically picture where it's 200,000 square feet. And, I mean, this is a much smaller scale building, so I suppose a smaller truck might be able to drive in or back up right to the door, but any larger vehicles would have to park parallel to the rear of the building and then manually unload. Given the size of these spaces, that operationally isn't expected to be a problem.
Okay. Went right to the heart of my question. Thank you. Any other questions? All right. You got more to present, or are you done? Okay. Looking for a motion if there are no questions. Go ahead,
Make a
John.
motion.
Thank you. Looking for a second.
I'll second.
Forrest?
Second?
You don't want me to read the whole blurb or whatever, or just go right to the vote?
Staff would
You can
request
figure
that, sir.
Yeah, please.
Okay, all right. I make a motion to approve the site and building plans for 5208 through 5216 Hanson Court, including the findings and conditions recommended by the Planning Commission.
Okay, Forrest seconded.
Yep. Second.
All right. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right. Do you need to talk about the second part, or is this pretty self-evident?
Mr. Mayor, it'll be very quick, but I probably should.
Okay, go ahead.
Slides. So now, as part of this site plan approval, because it's currently two separate parcels of land, one of our requirements in our code is that they have to do a lot consolidation plat to make it one parcel, so the building doesn't straddle a property line. So the lot consolidation plat is shown here, and it's fairly straightforward. It's a thing that the council has seen many times before with these old platted lots, combining them into a single, more usable parcel. And so the action tonight requested is for you to adopt the resolution approving the plat of Farr's Addition.
All right. Questions from the council? None? Looking for a motion? John?
Make a motion approving the resolution for the FAR's addition final plat.
Looking for a second?
I will second that.
Thank you. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Usually, Mayor, we usually talk to the owners of the property, have them, like,
Are they here?
He's making his escape.
he's running off now. Yeah.
Could you step forward for a second? I think John wants to ask you a question.
They're a friendly crowd, don't worry.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for, building on a pretty odd-shaped, ugly piece of land and making it.
It wasn't all me.
Yeah. Well, you're here to represent, you, so you're doing a great job. And I just want to say thank you, because, that whole area back there is, I needed some.
This is Jeff Quinn here, the owner.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, architect, okay. Well, I'd like to talk to you then.
Thank you.
So first of all, thank you. And then secondly, we're very excited to see what this is bringing to our community here. Because if you know, with the Midwest, trying to think about the boat place.
Water sports.
Water sports.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they took their situation and made it better, and definitely has been a great benefit to our community. We see a lot of those boats going through our town all the time. Great advertisement, right?
Sure.
So it's nice to see that you're putting some effort into our town as well, so
Appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
yeah. Do you have any comments to us at all about?
No, I guess I'm also excited to start the project and
Yeah.
be present in Crystal. And thanks, John, for the presentation. So, yeah.
Does this help consolidate your business in any way, or is it mostly just a new location?
More space. We're currently in a condo unit in Golden Valley.
Okay,
So, yeah.
so we got to steal you away from Golden Valley.
Right.
Nice.
Another one.
Good deal. Thank you.
Quick follow. Do you want to just quick talk about your business? So what kind of plumbing services you provide
Sure.
to residents?
Yeah.
Just since they approved this new business, talk about it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we do mostly residential plumbing. Anything from service calls, water heaters, remodels. We've got a big presence in this part of town with Golden Valley being our headquarters. Trying to think of what else you guys should know, but,
Do you do any boiler work?
oh yeah, we do.
Oh,
a lot
yeah,
of
oh,
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love
it's actually
boiler work.
a very big part of our business.
Okay.
Yep. We've got about 16 employees, and parking, I know, was one concern, but everybody drives their van home at night, so, yeah.
Sewers?
What's that?
Do you do sewers?
We don't do drain cleaning.
Okay.
No.
What about new sewers to the road?
Yeah, we don't do that either. We don't have any of the big machinery.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah. Boilers, though.
Right. Okay. Well, welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome to
thank
Crystal.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Great design, too.
I just want to thank Dan Olson for being very, very helpful, and met with Dan a couple times, one time in person on the phone, so he's been very helpful and walked us through. We had a great guy to work with.
That's great to hear.
Want to make it
Awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, our Public Works Director is here, Mark Ray. Welcome, Mark.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Way less exciting item, just replacement of a pickup truck. The 2023 Fleet Maintenance Fund allocated $54,000. The existing truck scored a 34 on the Vehicle Condition Index. We got quotes actually off of the state contract finally. Unfortunately, it was a little bit over budget. We're hoping that now stabilizes long-term. I think there's still a lot of uncertainty out there on vehicles. So hopefully this is a one-off thing.
I should note that we did literally sell a 2002 four-wheel drive pickup truck for $6,000 a few weeks ago. So it's clearly crazy times out there. This is a one-for-one replacement. We'll hold the existing truck through the summer to be a seasonal vehicle, and then we'll sell it at auction this fall. So the item before you is a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the replacement of the park's pickup truck.
Got a question on the over budget piece of it. You said that there's fund balance to cover this overage?
Correct, so
You're not actually talking about the fund balance, are you?
So in the fleet maintenance fund, there is, there's a large amount of funding there, and so we've been under on other vehicles and over here, so if you look at the bottom line for the fund, it can handle it. Plus, they budget for, I can't remember what the dollar value is for revenue from vehicle sales every year, and I think we're trending above that too, so that also helps make up the difference, where expected revenue will hopefully exceed actual,
Okay, cool.
or actual exceed expected.
John, go ahead.
Last month, I was at the Public Works building, and there was a blue vehicle there that was supposed to be for the Parks building. Is that the vehicle that we're replacing with this one?
If it looks like the blue pickup truck that was on the cover of the memo that had a plow on the front of it, that would be the one.
Boy,
If there's a used one sitting on the shop floor, kind of farther down in the corner, that would have been the one.
no, that must, it was. a
Okay.
different one then. So, okay.
All right, any more questions? Go ahead.
Is this a truck that that's here, that's in stock, or is it something that has to be ordered?
So
And
we have to order it.
okay, what's the time are they thinking?
So we're optimistic that we'll get it hopefully the next few months.
That's really
Optimistic. So North Country Chev is where we've been getting the previous pickup trucks that you've ordered. We just didn't go through the state contract, so cautiously optimistic.
And just one more question. So with purchasing the plow and liftgate and stuff, is that that's not something that could be recycled from the old truck onto this truck, like reused?
So so the plow has to have a custom mount built onto the truck. And so we actually get a higher resale value when we sell the truck and the plow together
Okay.
off. And then the lift gate is used quite heavily. And from personal experience, I can tell you this one will not be missed.
All right. Other questions? Seeing none, looking for a motion. Go ahead, Tracy.
I will make a motion to approve the purchase of a replacement parks pickup truck.
All right, looking for a second. John?
Second that motion.
All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. And Mark is here to address some more.
2023 utility reconstruction. Spring is in the air now, literally officially. We did open bids. One thing, as we go through this, the recommendation is to award the base bid and bid alternate one. So as you see, as we kind of talk through this, just understand that's the background. So as you can see, the 31 properties in the project area, down from 43 because of that potential smaller scope. You've already seen this back on January 7th. Then here we are in March, and then the project will be completed this fall. As you can see, we had 7 bidders. The low bid was Northdale, who I believe was 2 or 3 years ago, the contractor, they got the project at a little over 1.6 million. Our engineer's estimate, as you can see, is kind of right in the middle there. So really, the spread was pretty tight and right around our estimate. So our funding is a little over 2 million between a variety of funds. The total project cost, which includes the construction contract as well as professional services, is just under $2 million. So we're under budget by about $189,000. And just for some reference, the alternate two, so the part you're not awarding, that section alone was just under $400,000. So that's why it was actually under our estimate, but still obviously not doable.
Not enough. Yep.
So with that, the item before you is a motion to authorize a contract for the 2023 utility reconstruction project.
All right. Questions for Mark? Seeing none, looking for a motion? John, go ahead.
Move on this. I make a motion to award the contract for the 2023 utility reconstruction project.
All right, looking for a second. Therese?
I will second that.
Thank you. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. The next one
All right, so this is a diseased trees. City code requires residents to work with us to take care of diseased trees. As you're probably well aware, we've had a lot of emerald ash borer ripping through the city over the last few years. The important thing to note here, I'm going to touch on this multiple times, is that the packet materials had 12 properties. Since we sent letters last week notifying this, we've heard from 2. So what is in your the revised resolution before you is now 10 properties. So we were able to get some contact, which is always good to hear. So following the process for city code is that when we come to council to have them abated, we have to notify the property owners that we're coming to council, and they have the opportunity to present and talk with you all. I'm not sure if any are here at this point in time. I don't believe that's the case. So again, we've had 10 properties who have confirmed EAB, who have not responded to us or have not had the trees removed. Letters were sent to them all last week. They were in the packet, and again, we've heard from 2 of them since the packet went out. So the action before you all, first of all, is if any property owners are here tonight, they must be given the opportunity to talk to the council. And then after that, we're looking for a motion declaring the diseased trees to be public nuisances and ordering them abated at the several properties. Again, it's modified. We hear the 2 addresses that are removed from the resolution. With that, are there any questions?
Questions from council? Go ahead.
So in contacting each of the individuals, how was the contact made? Was it a phone call or
We don't have it's all letters.
all letters?
Yep.
And is it sent certified, for instance?
We don't do certified because actually it's gonna provide. So we've done over 100 of these in the last year.
Sure.
And I looked it up. The last time we had to come before you was November of 2018, and there's only 3 properties. So when you look at how many we've had to contact over the last few years, it's pretty impressive to only have 3 or 13 combined between this year and the last go around. So we just do letters is the answer to your question.
Go ahead, John.
And then the cost of removing these trees is something that the city's doing, or you're contracting our,
We will contract it out, and then they'll be assessed the cost.
okay,
To do
all
it.
right. Otherwise, they have the opportunity to go find their own,
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And we encourage them to get quotes. And if they reach out, we're more than willing to work with them and give them more time. We've done that with a lot of the other properties you've heard from. We literally just had heard nothing from these 10 properties.
over 6 months.
Over since October, I think was the most recent, that was like the first initiation of the process.
Okay, thank you.
So I just want to do due diligence on this one. I noticed there was one that was labeled rental property, and that caught my attention, just because there are other rental properties and they weren't labeled that way. So I looked at it more closely, and the subject property is the same address as what is on the address that we sent out to, which doesn't make sense. Is this just the copy that went to the property? Was there actually a different address on the rental license that we did?
Which property are we?
We were talking about 4807 Hampshire.
I can look into that one further if you want to remove that one. I will say usually we do mail it to both the property as well as the taxpayer, if there's multiple addresses listed. We try to really reach out to any address we have and try to make contact.
Right, I just don't want to make sure, I want to make sure we don't administratively make an error here, that's all.
Yeah, no worries.
I mean, we're all human, right? So your desire is to pull that one?
If you want to pull that one so we can check into it, that's not a problem at all.
Yeah, I'd rather do it that way rather than have to undo something. Go ahead.
Just for the information, Hennepin County does list the actual property owner as the address, so it's listed as a rental. I'm not sure, I'd have to check that. But the Timothy Austin and Lee Austin at 4807 Hampshire is the owner of record.
So it's
Their
possible,
address.
is it possible it's an accessory dwelling unit or there's a, yeah, it would have to be AED.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the rental status, or quite frankly, that could have been a typo on the rental side of it, because we would mail it to the property owner of address too, and it sounds like that was confirmed. So I wonder, so I'm feeling good about if that's the property owner of address and that's where we sent it, I feel good about that, maybe the typo on the rental side. But quite frankly, that's inconsequential.
John, go ahead.
We could check the Hennepin County property tax records. I mean, they're online. And we
He just
He just did.
Oh, okay, great. So then that would confirm that.
And clearly, they're not behind 6 months anymore, so
Right.
I think we're safe. All right, thanks for the follow-up. John?
Mr. Mayor, if you and the council wish to keep this on the list for tonight, we can certainly check the rental license to see if there's an alternate address with that, and that way you'd have an opportunity
Yeah,
to reach out. Just because the council, my understanding is, authorizes staff to proceed tonight, doesn't mean that we wouldn't take that extra step to try to contact the property owner and see if they're even been getting the mailings.
That's a great plan,
So
thank you.
we can certainly do that, even if you include it tonight.
All right, I'm comfortable with that, as long as if there's something out there, we've done everything we can. You know, we did Hennepin County, we should do our license, you were correct.
Well, and hopefully, you know, as they hopefully see a little more action, they would still contact us and we would explore alternate options at that point. Because we really prefer, as you can tell, based on the history, we prefer not to go this route.
You mean as they're pulling the chainsaws out?
That sign here, I mean, I hate to say, but we could make that happen probably.
All right,
I have a question.
yeah, go ahead, Forrest.
In the past, you know, you said the last time we did this, there were only 3. This time, you know, there's only 10. Is there a reason why we don't knock on their door?
Usually Brad does go.
Oh, he does. Okay. Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure if he does all of them, but if they're not responding, I think we actually might post the notice too in some cases too.
Okay.
For ones that we haven't heard from in a long time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question, thank you. All right, any other questions? Looking for a motion. John?
I make a motion declaring the disease trees public nuisances and ordering them abated at several private properties.
All right, go ahead, Therese.
I will second that.
All right, all members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Yeah, that, Forrest, to your question, that was an initiative about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago that we asked staff to start taking extra steps. They've been doing a pretty good job, so I'm glad to hear that it's continuing. Yep. All right. Item number 7, our Recreation Director, John Elholm, is here to talk about play area at Welcome Park.
Well, good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members.
Good evening.
We are here to, like you say, talk about play area equipment at Welcome Park. The slide, we have some pictures of the current conditions of Welcome Park. Nothing in the play area is accessible, and it's 25 years old and in pretty tough shape. So we are looking to build a new playground in this park. There's been quite a lot of public engagement. We have information out at Crystal Frolics, online survey, we had a public open house, we're at Winterfest, and then the Park and Rec Commission has been very involved with as the designs have progressed. The banner you see in the lower left is a banner that actually is still out there today, but it was put out last July. This says Welcome Park Play Area coming in 2023 with a QR code so people can get additional information. The playground location will be in a different spot than it has been. It's the location that was recommended in the Park System Master Plan, and then the location was also affirmed during the public process. So it is on the other side of what used to be Welcome Avenue. There's $350,000 in the Parks Fund for the project, and then earlier tonight we approved a resolution for applying for a playground grant through the Hennepin County Youth Sports Program of $50,000. If for some reason we are not successful in that grant, there is some savings from another project that can be used to cover those additional costs. So the project costs are landscape structures for purchasing the equipment, $239,682, and Flagship Recreation is the company that installs their equipment, and that is $128,118, for a total of $367,800. So the recommendation tonight is to approve a resolution entering into an agreement with Landscape Structures, Inc. in the amount of $239,682.34 to supply play area equipment and flagship recreation in the amount of $128,118.58 to install play area equipment, both in Welcome Park.
All right. Questions on this one?
Question. What's happening with the old playground?
It will get recycled.
Just made into grass or something?
Yeah,
Okay,
you mean the equipment itself the metal will get recycled.
okay, okay.
And whatever can be done with the plastic. It's really not in very good shape, so it can't be reused.
Okay. And is this new for Crystal, a fitness area?
Oh, the fitness area, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
next item.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I got so excited, sorry.
I don't blame you.
All right. Looking for a motion on this one. Go ahead, Tracy.
I'll make a motion to approve a resolution in support of play area replacement in Welcome Park.
All right, looking for a second. Go ahead, Forrest.
Second.
He's always going to be the one I see first. I just scan this way. But you did the right thing.
Yeah, like, oh, let's throw her out there.
All right, sorry to interrupt, Forrest.
I second the motion.
All right. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, next to the fitness system.
All right, we are also looking to add fitness equipment in the park, which is new equipment. And this came out of the Park System Master Plan that was done back in 2017. Outdoor fitness equipment is becoming more popular. It's free, so people who can't afford to go to a health club or whatever can use it. And it was recommended through that master planning process to put it adjacent to a large playground so that adults could exercise while their kids are playing. And it's actually quite nice because play areas typically go up to age 12, and these talk about going from 13 on up. So it really covers all age ranges doing both of these in the same location. So we had the same public engagement process on this with Crystal Frolics having some information there, online survey, public open house, Winterfest, and then Park and Recreation Commission review on a pretty much monthly basis reviewing these. So the location on this is near the play area as recommended in the Park System Master Plan and was affirmed during the public process. So there is a capital budget of $150,000 for the play equipment, or for the fitness equipment. And the project cost between Landscape Structures and Flagship Recreation is a total of $145,890. So the recommendation here is to approve a resolution entering into an agreement with Landscape Structures, Inc. in the amount of $83,657.80 to supply fitness equipment and Flagship Recreation in the amount of $62,232.47 to install fitness equipment, both in Welcome Park.
All right. Questions for John? Go ahead.
Not really questions, just a couple of comments. Just when I was on the Parks and Rec Commission for the last couple of years, it was fun to see this process with them, trying to look at different options that were out there and kind of see the input from commission members. So I really enjoy that, and I'm just excited to see kind of like how much use it will get. Just be interested because until I was on the Parks and Rec Commission, I never even thought about that as like a thing. You know, you might see something like that in California, but you know, like in Minnesota, you don't see it a lot. But I'll be interested to see like a year from now how much use it gets and kind of who uses it and why. That'll be interesting to see. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. A lot of times you see these either in two ways, either in a pod like this or along a trail. And back in the 70s, there used to be a thing called a Vita course that was little exercise stations, and they were very popular, and then they weren't. Right. So, but I think this model of grouping them, that seems to be the more popular model today. So, yeah, we're hopeful it will be successful.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of this in Florida. At a couple parks I was there. So California and Florida seems to be the trendsetters for this one.
Yep.
So, all right, any other questions? Looking for a motion? John, go ahead.
I make a motion to support the resolution of installing fitness equipment in Welcome Park.
David?
I second that.
All right. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
All right, the last item for me tonight, anyway, is Bassett Creek Park, the dog park fence. You may recall last fall, tree removal and brush removal took place. Cleared out the areas nicely for the dog park. Last month, we were here approving a contractor for earthwork and paving. So that was approved on February 7th. But what we did is those guys that do the concrete and paving and things aren't necessarily fence people. So we pulled the fence out and decided to do that as a separate contract. So again, a very public process on the dog park itself. Location was recommended in the Park System Master Plan. Park and Rec Commission actually went out and looked at other dog parks to get ideas for this one. Plan was designed, was put online, a lot of input on the dog park as it was developed. Watershed reviewed and provided permits, and then again the Park and Rec Commission reviewed it monthly. So the fencing for this dog park, if you've been to a Three Rivers dog park, it's very similar. It's a 4-foot-high woven wire fence, so it's not a chain link fence. Pressure-treated posts, and like I say, it's similar to what you'd see in Three Rivers Park District. So the portion we had allocated for fencing for the project was $45,000. We did get 2 quotes, solicited 5, 2 came in. $39,677 was Outback Fence and Fabrication, so they are the low quote on that. So recommendation is to approve a resolution entering into an agreement with Outback Fence and Fabrication in the amount of $39,677.35 to install a dog park fence in Bassett Creek Park.
All right. Questions for John on this one? Okay, Forrest?
I have a comment too, and I'm very excited about this, and what's happening at Bassett Creek. I think with this and the disc golf course, we're gonna see Bassett Creek really become like a regional destination, and I think it's very exciting. So very happy to see this happening.
Yeah, I can't wait for more conversation about Bassett Creek too. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on there, and I think there's still opportunity. So we'll have some conversations about some of the other ideas somewhere along the line, I'm hoping. Are we going to be bringing that back at all in terms of having that refreshment space?
Yes. Yes. Yes, we will. So we haven't, basically this time of year, we have a lot of these projects. We're trying to get out the door so we can get to construction, and then we'll circle back on.
Okay, good. There's going to be a lot of opportunity, especially with this dog park being there. And then, like you said, for us, the golf, there's a lot of people that kind of hang out before and after. So that's going to be a great thing. And soccer someday, you know. And volleyball, right? Mm-hmm. It'd be like the New Hope Bowl, where they have a lot of people hanging out for quite some time. Just thinking out loud. All right. Looking for a motion on this. Forrest?
Dang it. Sorry. I move for the resolution in support of installing a dog fence in Bassett Creek Park.
All right. Looking for a second.
I second that.
David? Yeah. Way to take it. There you go. All right. All members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. That was our last item. We do have a few announcements. The next city council meeting is Tuesday, April 4th at 7 p.m. Here at City Hall in the chambers here. There are 2 openings in the Crystal Charter Commission. Feel free to look online for applications for that. City council vacancy interviews will be held during the work session following tonight's regular meeting and again following the April 4th, 2023 meeting. City council meetings and work sessions are open to the public. A reminder that previous meetings are available for viewing and listening on our website at crystalmn.gov. Are there any other announcements from council members?
One quick item for you, Mayor. I have been texting with Brad. So the way the letters work for the forestry stuff, first letter we mail, second letter is posted to the door, and then we mail a third letter. And then they would have gotten a fourth letter last week. So that's how that goes.
Excellent. Yeah. All right. With that, looking for a motion for adjourning?
Way over here.
John?
So moved.
All right, looking for a second? Teresa?
I will second that.
All right, all members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. We are adjourned.